there I was, sat in pub, rubber-dub-dub with me great big tub. Saw this bird, I went and had a word, wanted to pull her like now Top said. I says, alright love, how's Vadu? I'm up for a bit. I says, how about you? And she turned round and walked away, and I mooned her and we all went, way.
Oh, you're joking, I can't hear you.
Shut up. No chance.
Welcome, one and all, to Yorkshire's finest. My name is Jimmy. You might know me from the Blades Ramble, and this is Ramble FC. But not if you're Joe Gibson in comments, who's normally from my side of the track. And he's on Cal Fowler's stream, because I can tell from comments who are you as well. You introduce yourself if you want.
Me? Oh, my name's Callum Fowler, guys, for the Ramble FC people.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh, I thought you said from the Ramble FC. That'll do.
No, 4.
We might get you on if you do a little bit better online. And
thank you. I would appreciate that. Helping out a small channel. Thank you.
just throw you a board every now and again. Yeah, cheers, mate. So, Cal, we are here. This is Yorkshire's finest. And if anybody's, thank you to anybody that stuck with us last week, because it was a little bit, to say teething problems is probably a bit of an understatement, but nobody would know, because if you didn't catch us live, we're not going to tell you what happened. So it's cut out from both channels, and you'll never see it again. So you can catch us here on Ramble FC or on Callum Fowler EFL. I think it is, isn't it? Callum Fowler EFL. And we're going to be here. We're going to be here every week, apart from next week, because Cal's on holiday and I am as well. So I would blame him, but we're both away. So we'll skip a week and we'll be back. And this big timer might be moving the days if he gets half a chance. So we'll wait and see if that happens. Cal, what do we reckon?
Okay. Let's get in there. Come on, Jim.
This is a call-in show, and what we want to do is get callers in from clubs across Yorkshire and talk to us about what's gone off for your weekend. I'm not going to talk about my lot because I don't want. Well, I suppose we'll have to, because this is Matt showing it. I know you will, but we'd like to take one caller from each side. So last week it was pretty Sheffield United heavy. Don't know why, but we like misery, to be fair, by the sound of it. And then we also had a Bristol City fan on just to rub salt in wounds at that Sheffield United game as well. Thanks to Teeny Toast for making an appearance. Well, there you go.
People apologize, like Sheffield United fans were apologising, weren't they, for it being so heavy, like you as well. But naturally, the one of the bigger sides, they got absolutely hammered. So it's going to be a talking point. That's what football 11 is, which is what this is based off.
That's right. But on Football 11, they've got things called producers, which make sure stuff like this, what happened to us last week, don't happen. They also have like screening calls, so they'll know who's coming on beforehand. I can see people that come on beforehand, but we don't know what team you support. So if you wouldn't mind putting in name, who you support, your name don't come up on screen or anything. So just let us know who your team is, just so we know we're not getting another 3. God help us if we get 3 Barnsley fans on in a row or something like that, because nobody wants that, do they? So thanks to everybody that's joined us. I'm glad you can all hear us. It is the biggest relief. It was something we were stressing about last week a little bit, live on stream. So for those that didn't catch us, we tend to just go through some results, talk to callers about it. Cal's a Barnsley fan, as you all know. I'm a Sheffield United fan. We tend to talk about those two teams and what we thought of our clubs this week. And we've also got a very special award for the man or the team from Yorkshire that is worthy of winning the award. Oh, what a man. What a man.
Would he not get in your team now?
Yeah, he would, mate. Yeah, well, no, to be fair, I love it. He'd certainly get in our squad. He'd get in our
definitely.
Our front four are good. We just couldn't get ball to him.
But how can you say that they're good then if you can't get ball to him?
No, so because the way we play is a bit of a shambles at the minute. Looks like we're into it already, doesn't it, Cal?
Yeah, we might. Come on, we'll address them first, because it's biggest story. You expect that with Wednesday, but apart from that, I'd say the Bradford one's quite big. But Sheffield United are going to take cake here for like biggest clown show straight away.
No, it don't have to be. We can talk about Bradford. I think Bradford deserve a bit of plaudits for it.
Well, I personally, as a co-host, would like to really, really talk about Sheffield United first.
You don't have to, though, Cal. You know, you don't have to. If you don't, you take the lead then in Sheffield United chat. What do you think? Because what were you going to title this? Sheffield double? I've
actually titled it as Sheffield United in a relegation battle.
And do you think they are?
Oh no,
2 games. So it's clickbait, basically.
No, it's not. It's a question.
Well, I'm answering it.
No. It's a topic of conversation that I'm assuming people will want to speak about.
Yeah.
Well, based on the squad right now, how many teams are genuinely weaker than Sheffield United? There aren't many as of right now.
Player for player?
100%. What, including your squad, your bench?
I think positionally, if you look at our defence, it's up there with weakest in league. Yep. But the front four, like I was talking about, we've got Gus Amer. On Saturday, we feel Gus Amer, Callum, Louis Barry, and Tyrese Campbell. That is a top-end championship attack. But what you've got to do is get the ball to them. Because if you don't get the ball to them and you just leave it with Sidney Peck and Jibril Samari to try and pass it through the lines of 4 or 5 midfielders, it's never going to go well. And we were second best again on Saturday. There are big questions to be asked. The problem I've got, Cal, and I won't dwell on it too much because we like to get around other clubs as well, but the problem I'm really concerned about is against Bristol City, first game of season, it looked like defence were our problem because we got a sucker punch early on with a Scott Twine free kick, which were a beautiful free kick, by the way, and then attacked them for the rest of the first half and looked really strong going forward. We were unfortunate to go in 2-1 down, in my opinion. But then they sucker punched us and got 3 and 4, and our heads went down, and we could not deal with them coming at our defence. And it looked like it were obvious. The board needs to back Sayers to get some defenders in, and we'll be all right because we'll have half a chance because of how strong we attack. It looked a bit like we were trying to replicate what Leeds did, really, and have a mediocre defence, but a great attack going.
But can I just pick up on that now then? So, like anybody, like... For me, the problem stems top downwards at Sheffield. From outside looking in, that is the order of where you point your blame. Yep. But that Cameron Burgess, for example, who plays for Swansea, he'd come in and be your best defender. They've got him on a free from Ipswich this summer. You could have offered more to that. That's not Ruben Sellers' fault that the people above you are going for cheaper options as opposed to going and getting someone like that might just have a decent wage. I just don't think you can comfort Sellers, really, with hand that has been dealt.
No, I agree. And I think that's exactly where I was. And I still am to a large degree. They haven't given him the tools to allow him to be successful. We had Reece Norrington-Davies at centre-half, who's a left-back by trade and has not been the same player since before his injury. Whether he's left-back, centre-half, on bench, whatever it is, he looks a shadow of himself. Robinson clearly wants to move. He's not playing for shirt. There's loads of issues in defence, and that's not an excuse. And I don't blame Sayers for that and having a poor defence. The thing I do blame Sayers for is he's obviously tried to make adjustments for Swansea and shore up the defence and protect them a little bit more, which we did. We weren't as bad in defence, even though they're a bad collective, if you like. But we sacrificed our attacking threat by doing that because the forward players were not working hard enough coming back. Gus Amer is a bit of a loose. He's brilliant, but a bit of a loose cannon. You can't really tie him down to a bit of a position. Louis Barry and Callum were too far forward, and this is the way they've been told to play because they're certainly not bad players. And I look at the manager for that, for not being able to adapt in game to a different way of playing. So that's a concern for me as well.
But again, like you've lost 1-0 to Swansea, right?
Yeah.
Swansea
were there for the taking, by the way.
Yeah, and that's fine. But last season, I watched that game because, in case you don't know, our Leicester family Sheffield United fans. I'll just put that one out there right now. Yeah, and I went to the house. I watched that game, and you were crap. You were in this exact fixture last season. You were awful, and I think it was a sub that come on and won your game.
Yeah. So
I think realistically, just the level for the game itself before subs come on is not too dissimilar in what you're saying. But the bench has won wild at game, whereas Sellers has not got the option to impact a game with what he's got on bench. I don't think.
I love that, and that gives me a different perspective of it because I think. Ultimately, we weren't great last year either. And the cracks were beginning to show in terms of we didn't have... I think we overperformed to a certain degree with Wilder in charge. And I think we rode our luck in games at times. I think that's probably fair to say that we weren't always the better side in some games, and we came away with 3 points. We ended up with 92, though. That's not a fluke, is it? It's not a fluke eventually to get to that level. And to sack a manager at that level of points, you have to be really sure of what you're doing in terms of. And I don't think the football people. I don't know who they're being advised. Well, we've got an idea, but I'm not confident in those that they're being advised by. And it looks a real. We're in a mess at the minute. We're in a mess. There's still time because the window's getting. The window has 2 weeks left. But now we're getting into circumstances where we're trying to go to Coventry and nick Bobby Thomas. They know we need a centre half, so they can charge a premium because they know the situation we're in. So,
but again, that comes back to like me thinking that you can't. I know you're not doing, but just speaking to as a fan base collectively, that to me just shows that you can't go for Sellers then.
No, but I think I never like to speak for majority of the fan base, but from the bits I'm hearing is it's a very hard crutch to shake when your manager who you love and who lives and breathes the club is sacked. A lot feel unjustly because he got you 92 points, and now
Sellers didn't do that.
What do you mean? You what?
Sellers didn't sack him. Do you know what I mean? I completely understand. We're agreeing on that the ownership have made a wrong decision, and I agree with it as well. But that is not Sellers' fault. The team that he's dealt with isn't Sellers' fault.
Poison chalice, though, isn't it? It's one of them where it's like when Moyes went into Man United, he were never gonna win. It weren't that he were the wrong choice. It weren't that he were a bad manager. It was that he were following Alex Ferguson, and that's a massive comparison. And I'm talking about relative to Sheffield United. But Chris Wilder has been our most successful manager in modern history, and he's been unceremoniously sacked 3 weeks after the playoff final. By the way, not straight away. So it wasn't right, we're definitely sure on this. It wasn't a decisive decision. It was dillied and dallied, and then it's finally happened. But yeah, it's we're in a bit of a mess at the minute, mate. But I'm hearing things that movements are happening this week, and we can only hope that that things start to turn a corner for us. But yeah, we're in a bit of a mess, mate.
Apparently, you've signed somebody.
Have we though?
It chat's saying. Apparently, Fabrizio said that you've signed somebody live on air.
Oh my goodness!
Here we go.
Exclusive.
Exclusive.
Let's have a look. What's Fabrizio saying?
A Malmo player for 3.5 mil plus add-ons, says Andy.
No, we aren't. Well, unless it's just happened. Fabrizio's saying we've done it. Let's have a little look.
Someone says. Apparently, it's stream stopping and going in slow motion.
Oh yeah, he has. 7 minutes ago. Sheffield United have just sealed the deal to sign Nils Zetterstrom from Malmo on a 3.3 million euros plus add-ons. For me, I didn't know it was that high. Fabrizio's the one that'll tell me more. He'll put me back in my box, won't he? But yeah, we'd heard about that one for some time. Matty, as he's known on stream, because my dad couldn't remember his name. He thought it was Matty something. He's went Matty. Yeah, so Matty's signed for us. Left-footed centre half. So I wonder who that comes in. He comes in for there, but so left-footed centre half, love that. Really highly rated young prospect. Not brought in per se to be the absolute unit that we definitely need, but he is part of the bigger picture where long term we've got really high hopes for him. So I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased. It's obviously not been announced by the club yet, which is no surprise because we're last to do anything. But Fab reporting it. It's pretty nailed on in it if that's happened. So at least we've got a centre defender in, which we said was going to be happening. Imminently, basically. We said that on stream last night, so I'm happy that
I also hate to tell you, Jim, but apparently it streams like dropping quality and it's going slow motion and stuff.
I think that's just you. If you come over to Ramble FC, I think there's a
I swear down that it's in both chats. We're not having any of that game.
Okay, I'll have to check that later. At least majority are getting it, I think, from what I'm
gonna say. Yeah, it's all right. Just like grow up. Because he keeps losing both of us, apparently. So they're saying it in both chats.
Well, it shouldn't be because I'm wired in.
To be fair, I have both chats open and yours is like buffered.
Behave yourself.
I swear, I will literally. I don't want me to show you it now.
No. It's all good. I think we'll be all right. I think let's have a look. I think we're back, says Ben. Ben says he thinks we're back.
Stream fine for me. Oh, people are saying it's fine. Oh, yeah, never mind then.
You know what I mean?
Thanks, Zach, by the way. Love you. Kiss.
Oh, Zach, thank you for the 2 man, brother.
Thank you for the 2 man, brother. Kiss. Mate, thank you, Zach. We've had enough Sheffield talk.
What your bottle job for? What's this about?
Because I briefly said that I might be going to Peterborough, but on tomorrow, but I'm not now.
Why are you going to Peterborough tomorrow? Are you
going on holiday Thursday morning at 2 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, and you might not get back in time. I see that, yeah.
Okay, well, Summer's a working men, Jim.
Are you what?
Summer's got a lot of graft. All right, you won't get it.
You cheeky young boy.
You would not get it.
Talk to me about Barnsley.
Oh, shall we just get right? Yeah, we'll get big 2 out of way first.
Big 2, yeah, we're going to go for big 2, aren't we?
Sheffield and Barnsley. I think we were good first half and before goal. I think the red card was sloppy, and I agree with it with red card. So I've got no qualms with ref. I thought it was crap, but he got that decision right. Have you seen it? Did you think
I've
it
seen
were?
red card? Yeah, I've seen red
it
card.
were, wasn't it? It just it's unlucky, but it is. He's planted his foot on
just
his
late,
ankle.
isn't it? Just late.
Yeah. I'm glad that it's at Middle Park because I think that's the strongest position. And I do think if we'd have had 11 men, we'd have seen it out and won. Did it again? I truly was not impressed with. Again.
Sorry, Didsy. I know you're.
Did you believe? No, believe you me. No one loves you more than I do.
No.
But he's not. I promise you, he has not pulled any trees up in any game. But he scored twice, and that's all I'm bothered about.
It's a bit like Chris Wilder, isn't it? It's a bit like Chris Wilder. He's not made us perform brilliantly, but we've won the game. What more do you want, son? What more do you want?
More consistency. I don't want. To be fair, I'm happy with everything so far. We've had a lot to deal with. Obviously, we've not got a completed side at all. We've made one defensive change to the worst defensive side we've had at this level ever. So we're still not the finished article. We're scoring a lot of goals. We've come from, first game, like I said loads of times now, we lost we didn't lose. We had a red card in first game and ended up scoring another one and winning away at Plymouth.
Yeah.
And then we've come from 2-0 down at home to Burton to win. And then we've played against one of the best sides in the league, which Bolton are. We've had a tough start. And we've seen a full half out with 10 men. So
7 points.
7 points from not in 3 games without a finished side, with a new manager and new ideas. I am very happy, and I think we look good. We look like a serious contender.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, and I didn't fancy you at the beginning. I thought you were over-egging it. Not intentionally.
I didn't really.
When you were sort of going for it and sort of saying it, I'm telling you now. I know you always say top 2 every season. But even top 6, I thought they might struggle. But I think you're well on. It's very early, mate. And Winder's obviously got some time to go as well. Loads of things can happen and loads of teams settle and things like that. But for a start, you're looking really strong it's a momentum thing as well, isn't it? As you get going at this sort of time of season and things. So, yeah, I think Barnsley are looking good. I have to say that. Obviously, we've put Leeds and Everton on here because they play tonight. So from next week, we'll be able to talk. And any Leeds fans that want to join us, you're more than welcome to jump on and have a little chat about them if that's what you want to do.
Jimmy, people are saying that it's going down. The stream's going down. I think it's YouTube and not us, apparently.
All right. Okay. Oh, well, that's a shame. That's a shame.
It's very annoying. We'll just carry on because it'll go up as a video afterwards, won't it? So
yeah. We'll be fine, mate. We'll be fine. So, mate, where do you want to after? So, yeah, what we're saying was after this game tonight, obviously we'll be able to talk about it the next time we're on. I did say next week, but obviously we're not here next week. So, where do you want to go next, pal? Where do you want to have a look?
You could touch on what you think about Leeds quickly.
Well, I think Leeds are going to go down, and I think we've been strong on that from beginning. I did my predictions, and I know you've done yours as well. I had them at bottom 3. I think all 3 promoted sides go down. I thought I was really impressed with Sunderland, I have to say, and maybe Leeds can do something similar tonight. And it's not that I hope they all go down. It's just that I think they will. I think the gap is way too big. I think people look at Everton and they think, oh, well, in the past couple of seasons, they've started to struggle and tail off a little bit. But David Moyes is in there now, and he's notorious for solidifying sides and making them strong in the Premier League, doing what they need to do. But ultimately, what people are forgetting, they've just signed Jack Grealish for one, who is one of the most creative players in the league.
Yeah,
I know
they've got Grealish and Jai and Jules Briol and Alcaraz and all these lads. And this is Everton.
Yeah, I know. Illiman and Dye, by the way, I mean, I know you'll know all about him because you follow EFL, but do not sleep on him as a player.
He's a very good player.
As Sheffield United fans, we got to enjoy him for a short period of time, really. But he's a magician. He is an absolute, and he will play top end of a European league at some stage in his career. I think he was linked loosely with Newcastle a couple of weeks ago, maybe. Whether that is actually a paper talk or not, I'm not sure. But he could certainly go onto a bigger stage and do really well, I feel. So yeah, I fancy Everton. Well, do you know tonight? I fancy a 1-1. I'm doing a watch along on Ramble FC if anybody wants to join us. I'm taking full advantage of Cal being out and not being able to do the watch along. So thank you to your mate for having
Please look at your chat a minute, please. Look at the last comment from Nigel. Pull that up.
What's Nigel saying? Can Callum get Kes off the internet line? Jimmy, yeah, come on, Kes. Come on, Kes. It'd be a shame that if and die for Ballon d'Or, honest. Yeah. What a player. Absolutely, what a player.
I think Leeds will lose, though. I think they'll lose 2-1.
Think they'll lose tonight at home to start them off? Oh, interesting. Simon says, just connected to my VPN in the United States and it's perfect. What the heck is going on in the UK?
I think it's an English YouTube thing.
Brilliant. Just what you need, really, when I'm doing a back-to-back live stream. That's great.
Oh, that is tough. Yes. Thank God I'm out.
It's great. So, what's your thoughts on Leeds, mate? In terms of season, do you think they're ready? Do you think the gulf is bigger than they seem to think, or what's the crack, mate?
Yeah, I've said my piece. I think we both have many times with Leeds. I've just like club size truly does mean nothing. You see, like Bournemouth and Brighton, that are definitely going to finish 20 odd points in front of them easily. So club size means niche.
Agreed.
I just think they'll go down, but they're not the only one on this frame right now that we could talk about. And I'm not talking about Sheffield United, baby.
Yeah, no, you're not, baby. I know you're not.
Have you seen them Wednesday fans carrying that coffin?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Come on, talk to me about it. I want to hear your side of things for that.
Fully grown men.
That's what Curtis Woodhouse tweeted that as well.
Did it? I've seen that. Yeah. Fully grown men spending the Saturday morning doing that. It's absolutely wild. Like the thing is, I don't want to just like come and bash them because we try and be, well, we're not neutral, but we try and be neutral. And I'm just going to take a slight dig at BBC Radio Sheffield here because they are supposed to be neutral, but they're not. The biggest Wednesday fans going. But anyway,
one might be, but they're not.
Rob is 1,000,000% a Wednesday boy. Is he a Chesterfield fan? My ass. He's the biggest Wednesday fan ever. But yeah. Anyway, they're talking a big game about doing all these things to get game postponed. Nobody goes on pitch. The bloke whistles for 30 seconds, and then they concede. Like it is truly hopeless. I was going to say I feel sorry for him, but I don't. But it is truly hopeless at that place.
It's poor, isn't it? It's poor, and I love what's happening to him on pitch. I do. I mean, I have sympathy for him off the pitch, and as soon as they start paying the staff again, I'll lose all sympathy for that. But I
feel sorry for that.
Yeah, that's it though. That's the only sort of semblance of misfortune I feel sorry for him about. But I think they're poor. I think they had a little bit of I thought they looked decent against Leicester, weren't it? The first game.
Yeah,
I think they looked plucky and they looked like they were having they were having a go. And they're galvanised, I think, by what's happening to the club, and I understand that. And that was always the thought that if they're gonna do all right, it'll be in spite of what's happening to the club. Then they go to Stoke and they get absolutely paggered. So by Stoke, we're okay. I think they're not a great side. They're not as bad a side as some people are making out. Mark Robbins is a good manager.
Yeah,
Stream's going down, mate. Stream's going down for some people.
Just see it out.
Who's this guy?
Oh, wait a minute. No. Let's address this guy.
Why are you watching on Cal's stream?
And more importantly, you must have good service from Ellen Road. Wow. How you're watching that from there? Crazy. Jesus.
Yeah, he's there. He's there live in person. Of course
immersive. That stream's going to be wicked.
Oh my word!
But yeah, anyway, Wednesday talk. I don't actually think they've got a glimmer of hope at all. Like Charles is good, but when he's got that in front of him, there's not a lot he can do really. And I do think in normal circumstances, they could have probably stopped up with squad that they come into transfer window with if they'd have kept Gassama and then players. I do think they could have probably had enough just without signing anybody to stay up. But with that crop, there's no chance, have they?
They're poor, aren't they? They're poor.
Yeah.
We were waxing lyrical, weren't we, about Piers Charles, and then he goes and lets 3 in following week. So,
but it's like come on.
I know. He's going to be peppered in it. It's a bit like Victor. Yeah. Speaking of Victor Johansson, when he were at Rotherham, obviously, with my point. But speaking of it, what a save, by the way, from that overhead kick from Barry Bannon. Who must have put his back out doing that. So, talk Wednesday. Who's actually 24th? Not us, is it? Are you talking about alphabetical order now? That's absolutely that's laughable. Absolutely, I could
give a monkey's me wearing autos, baby.
You are, yeah. I think you're only a couple of places below us, aren't you? Technically speaking.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well done. Can we move on to Huddersfield next? And there's a reason I want to go to Huddersfield, but they are my favourites for league.
Yeah,
I think they're going to do really well in League One this year, and I know you've said the same, Cal. But they've lost against Blackpool, and we've got somebody coming in. It's Ed, the Huddersfield fan. So I just want to welcome Ed into the stream, pal. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right. How are you guys?
Yes, very well. Thank you for joining us, bud. Talk to us about what happened at Blackpool, mate.
Where to start? 6 minutes in, jubilation, Blackpool. We thought, this is it. We're going to do all right till, let's say, Christmas. And then, I don't know, just defensively, just gaps have appeared. What a math. I had a stinker, missed that header, and that were it.
So obviously, I only watch highlights, right? But from like as soon as they got red card, it looked like you struggled breaking them down, and it weren't much of a defensive problem.
Absolutely, yeah. We just didn't. Once that red card, it just did kill us. We didn't go direct enough. It seemed like the players weren't just going at it. They seemed to just got instructions to pass it round the back, try and break them down.
I would say you had one shot on target in second half.
Yeah, exactly. It was one shot on target, and it was just not good enough. But
they're a decent side though, Blackpool. They've recruited well. Going away to Blackpool ain't going to be easy for anybody this season, and I think you're unlucky, obviously, not to come away with points. You have to be. I don't know if it's somebody on pitch behind you that's mowing grass.
No, it's mine. Don't worry, mate. It's mine.
Yours, Cal?
It's mine.
Incredible.
Go on, quick. I'll shut window.
We saw you then. We saw boxer shorts then.
BBC Sheffield, baby.
We saw boxer shorts then, Cal.
I've actually got shorts on this time.
So yeah, Blackpool's not. It's no shame to go to Blackpool and not win. Obviously, it's a disappointment. But do you still see a lot of positives for Huddersfield going forward this season under Lee Grant?
Absolutely, I saw a lot more positives compared to last season. Last season, I saw a bunch of players. This season, I actually see a squad, an actual unit together, helping each other through. And like you said before, Blackpool, there's no easy team to go to, especially the signings they've got. I don't think they'll get playoffs. I think they will fall away towards the end. But again, Steve Bruce in it, he's seasoned. He knows what he's doing.
I want to ask both of you a question, actually, because there's a link here, and it's Michael Duff. I thought Michael Duff were a good manager, and I thought he did all right. Cal, tell me if I'm wrong, mate, because I didn't pay that much attention when he was here, but I thought Michael Duff did a decent job at Barnsley, and then I thought it was going to be a good appointment for Huddersfield, and it's obviously just not worked out. Any reason why it didn't go right for either club?
You go first.
Yeah, Michael Duff, I did think we sacked him at the wrong time. We maybe slapped him a bit too early. But from what I'm hearing from inside the club, and like our chairman does this tea with the chairman, apparently like gets fans in and he talks to them, and like someone asked what really went down with Michael Duff. Apparently it was a bit too pessimistic, like saying, "Oh, it is what it is. I tried my best and that's it." And they tried to like avoid the chairman when he was in the club and stuff. I don't know how true this is, but this is what people have been saying. So
he still lives in Cheltenham, and he did that with us as well. And it weren't so much the problem with us because we did have quite a good team. Realistically, I think he did well because none at talk were about us to go straight back up. We come down in a rate mess. We come down in last from Championship, so we had to bring in a full new team. But I think we failed that year. I think not beating Wednesday, I know we had red card, but I think we failed. And I don't think you can manage a club properly when you're 150 miles away. And it's only coming up so many times a week. Like Urian lives in Birmingham. So exactly. Urian lives in Birmingham. It's a lot more reasonable than cutting up and down from Cheltenham all the time. And I don't think you can manage a football club from that far away, mate.
I don't. What were he doing then? Were he getting a hotel and staying for like 3-4 days, or did he come up day like?
I'm not entirely sure from our perspective either what he was doing.
I don't know, but he definitely lived in Cheltenham and he was going up and down all the time.
Give me your honest thoughts then, Ed, on what your thoughts were when Lee Grant, unproven manager, gets appointed. Do you think, oh no, or do you think, all right, I'm okay, we'll have a look at this and see how it goes?
I'm okay, and I thought, okay, we'll have a look, because some of our best managers we've ever had were all unproven, Wagner and Carlos. It was like I'm so open to it, especially just from their track record. Don't get me wrong, there's a few doubts. Obviously, it was really new, but what he did at Ipswich, and apparently he was a big role coaching wise under them. It was like if he did anything half as good as that, I thought, oh yeah, be happy. And especially with then all the players are coming in, I was pretty happy. And a lot of my mates were saying, yeah, the same thing. We can't get any worse from last season. Well, we can, but
the only thing I worry about from like a Grant perspective, and the Blackpool one being a case, I think you might struggle to break low blocks down and teams that are just going to come and sit at you, especially with being like favourites. Leighton Orient first game are going to fancy the chances, and they're good on break. They'll fancy him for some goals. And then Reading at same, especially at their place. I think against like a Steve Bruce, for example, and they've got 10 men, or Wimbledon or Stevenage, I think the lack of experience might be something that you struggle with. But that's it. I still think you'd be top two easily.
I agree with that. I think the only point in the second half of Blackpool when we did well is when they had the ball and they were opening up at the back, and then that on the counter we did well. But like you said, we've got Doncaster tomorrow night, which I don't think will be easy with the form they're on. And then Stevenage as well. Again, low blocking. Yeah. It's not going to be easy. But if we're going to do it, we've got to do it now. And that's the bounce back. I think that's what's going to prove tomorrow, how we bounce back from it. But, yeah.
What else do you need in Windsor, do you think, Ed, before Willie go?
Miller got injured. So another striker on the side, maybe just to shore it up. Because he's quite good, Miller, really good, but he's injury prone. So
greedy, honestly. You've got enough, y'all.
Hey, if you got to get out, you got to get out.
Well, yeah, I'm just jealous, man.
The voice of fear, that Ed. That's the voice of fear.
It absolutely is. They've got strongest team in the league.
There's a player called Keeler Dunn in that league somewhere. I think.
I tell you what, if you've got $5 million to drop, mate, you come.
£5 million.
If you've got £5 million, I promise you, he will not leave.
If I agree with you, but if Kev's Cal, you know Kev's a good fan of you, and he's got some brass to spend about, so I would never say never.
Fair. That is fair.
Ed,
you know,
thank you
for joining
Huddersfield,
mate. If you want to change your allegiances, more than
no,
welcome.
come on, man. I'm a married man to Barnsley.
Fair too.
Thanks for joining us, pal. Really appreciate it.
No worries. Cheers,
Ed. See you soon, mate. So the line is open for anybody from any Yorkshire club that wants to join us, and it is in both descriptions. It's pinned in mine. I don't know if it's got lost in yours. Is it pinned?
No, it's not pinned. It's in my description.
All right, okay. Oh, it's in description, is it? All right, okay. No worries. I put it in comment section, so fair dues. Nice one. So we've done Huddersfield. Where do you want to go next, mate?
We can do Bradford while we're on the same sort of vibe, like a League One favourite dropping points.
I thought this was going to be my pick for Didsy Award as a collective. I've not in end. I've gone for a different. I've gone for something else, but I thought
that's going to be.
You don't know what that's going to be.
No.
Why would Bradford be your pick?
Oh yeah,
would they? For Didsy Award?
Yeah.
So Didsy Award, for those that are aware, it can be a team or it can be an individual, and it's the performance of the week basically. So go on, talk to me about what you thought of Bradford then.
Well, Humphreys is their main man, and they got him on a free from Barnsley, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that I've had a misconception with all this time since he's gone there is that they're going to start him as a number 9, and I'm thinking it's just a complete waste because we had him as a number 9, and it just weren't all that. You put him in his actual position, which is like out on wing, out to side, and he can get ball to feet and take a man on. That's when he's at his best, and especially like a lot of these teams in League One. I'm not just like stereotyping here, but it's true. There's no tactics involved in some of these sides. They're just crap. Like, seriously, if you can't just run at a man in this division, it's so easy, I think, to just take advantage of the poor sides that are in here. And Humphreys is really good at that. But then, obviously, on paper and in highlights, it's looking like he's a direct number 9, and I just didn't rate that. But apparently, I've seen his interview after the game where he's saying that even he is a 9, but he's got the freedom to effectively do what he wants at certain times and go and pick little pockets of space up and do what he thinks is right. And they've got a player on their hands if they do that. They'll be very good at home. I bet Wickham first game. It's the attendance side of thing as well. And I think smaller, and I'm not saying this is Luton after the last couple of years, but smaller teams, I think, will go to Bradford and definitely struggle with like atmosphere and just size at place. I think it happens a lot in this division, and they've got a lot of experience at back line. I think they'll be all right. Like mid-table. I don't think they'll be rated top, but I think they'll be fine.
No, I agree. And Humphrey's got his first goal, didn't he, as well? And to go to a promotion fancy team in Luton, and I know it's at home, or they haven't gone there, but at home to a really strong Luton side at this level, I think it's a great result. A really strong result for Bradford, and I'm pleased for him as well. We've got connections to Bradford, and I'm more than happy with that. So yeah, well done to Bradford. They don't quite met my Didsy Award, but I think they get yours, don't they, Cal?
They do.
Sound of it?
Yep.
Right.
Bradford, my Didsy.
Bradford, your Didsy Award. Well, since we're on Didsy Award, I'm going to have to talk about mine, and mine goes to. It's featured in the Hull versus Oxford game.
Oh, Bernie.
And I apologise now to the Blades that are watching tonight, because this will sting, and this will be a little bit like, because I've not always been his biggest fan. My dad's certainly not his biggest fan. But Ollie McBurney, 2 assists and a goal, I think is, you know, what more can you say about an impact for a new signing? Came in on a free transfer, and he has won them the 3 points that game, because without his involvement, they don't get the 3 goals. And I think somebody that can, you talked about it last time, your criteria for it was which individual player has impacted the game the most. I think it was Owen Bailey we were talking about, weren't it?
Yeah, Donny sent about it.
And Ollie McBurney can't have done much more than to get 2 assists and a goal. So goal in the last few minutes, it were reminiscent of the goal. Certainly, obviously, the stage was nowhere near as big, but he scored an equaliser against Man United to make it 3-3 for Sheffield United. And yeah, it were a very similarly taken goal to that. And yeah, absolutely. It started off really well for him. He'll love getting the Didsy Award, because I'm sure he's watching. But they're big pals, Ollie and Didsy, because they're both big Sheffield United.
McBurney were training with Barnsley before he went to Hull.
Oh, were he?
I think it might be. I think we touched on this Urian aspect. Might be it. I think they played with each other at Sheffield.
Yeah.
So that'll be it. But McBurney's been at us. I really like him. He's not the most prolific 9 ever. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not going to get you 15, 20 goals every year, and you'll have a better view on this than I will. But I think his actual link-up play, and this is going to sound ridiculous, it's not to the same level, but similar to Didzy in a way that he makes other people better, I think. I think McBurney link-up is very good, and he had a really good partnership with Njai, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
I think that's his strong point.
Illiman drew 3 men away from him, and he were able to play a little bit. That's what happened. But yeah, that's fair news. Fair news. But I think he's a very good link player, and he doesn't always get the credit for that. Obviously, his 2 assists are merits to that. So yeah, he wins my Didzy award, and we'll have to decide between us before stream ends as to who's going to win. So we have got another caller waiting, mate, and it means we have to go back and talk about Barnsley again, unfortunately. Don't know his name. He's just come on as Barnsley, and all I can see is top of his head at minute. But hello, Egg.
Red.
I hope Barnsley get relegated.
Let's go!
Oh my word!
Let's go!
Oh my word! The Barnsley egg has struck.
Absolutely fantastic.
That's what we want. That's the quality content that we want on these streams, isn't it, Cal? Insightful. Really,
how long has he been sat in there?
About 5 minutes waiting.
Oh, right, fair enough. Goodness gracious me.
Just polishing his egg. So, so there you go. I'm not, I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I'm not against Barnsley. I like Didzy, so I don't want you to get relegated. But anyway, on to what we say, mate. Donny?
You can do. Am I in Rotherham up though? No, we'll go Donny first because your man scored, ain't it?
Yeah,
still got it. About 40 years old.
It wasn't a classic. Obviously, you called me out last time thinking I hadn't seen all goals, but I have this time. So he hassled and harried goalkeeper who could not control it. And that's what you get at this level, I think, sometimes. You've got some very good players in League One, but you've some that aren't that comfortable. Yeah. And you look at particularly goalkeepers where higher up now, more and more they want them to be better with their feet. It wasn't the case for Wycombe's goalkeeper here. I don't know who it was, to be fair, but he fumbled and he stumbled and he sees Billy Sharp charging down at him, and he nicks the ball, and Billy Sharp just instinctively puts it in, and they end up drawing 1 apiece. But I think that's a decent result for now. Cornelius Wycombe. Do you think, as a League One connoisseur, mate, and I know we're more Yorkshire focused, and Donny have got off to a great start. I think they're 7 points from 3 games as well, aren't they? But in terms of Wycombe, do you think they will struggle without Cornet, or does it all depend on how they spend this money that they've picked up for him?
The runners aren't shy though. Like, I do think they will spend some brass. The team level, I don't think is anywhere near as good as it were last time. Like they use the loan market really good. Like they had Humphries from Ipswich, Caleb Taylor from West Brom. They ended up with Sonny Bradley on loan. They had some really good players, Wycombe. But they also have Bloomfield, who's gone to Luton now, which were the main asset. Mike Dodds is not a good manager. He's not. Wycombe should not be anywhere near like favourites for this division. Anywhere near. I don't think.
So they overachieved basically with Bloomfield, is what we're saying, and they got lucky.
No, because I think the level of squad that he had, that last season was miles better than this one. I think the relative expectation, he wasn't top 2, but I think they could have been in a playoff picture last season. This season have been miles off. Is Bloomfield that good? Yeah, I don't know enough about him. You see, why do you rate him so highly? He's Luton gaffer, isn't it? He's very diverse. They play different all the time, I think, and. Like I said, I think they had a top 6-ish squad last season with Wycombe, but he had them above Birmingham before he went to Luton. I was talking about EFL points record holders. I know Birmingham had like a game in hand on him or something, but he had them like in line with best EFL side ever, effectively. I think that speaks for itself, but I think he'll do the same with Luton, which is just relative to the level of squad that he's going to have again. Like, I think it'd be a massive failure if they don't go up. Luton, realistically. And I know we can go back to Bradford game here, but I think a lot of teams will go to Bradford and struggle as well. Yeah, like the home aspect. But I think Bloomfield is probably best manager in this league, I would say. Big shout. So I fancy Huddersfield autos. You were saying Luton probably join them? I still think, I don't want to jinx us, so I'm just not going to say it. I think Luton and Huddersfield will be top 2 still. Do you? But I think in and around that picture is Barnsley, Bolton, Stockport. I think that is it. That they are your 5 best sides. Stockport, Stockport doing really well out there, to be fair. Yeah. So, in terms of building, let's talk about Millers then, mate, because these are banging trouble. By the way, I think they're a poor squad. I think obviously Amshaw's an unproven manager.
I think they're banging trouble here and could be in the mix in bottom 4 here.
1,000,000%. I've got them going down. I did my predictions. And I had them going down. I think I've got them. I think 4th bottom. And I got loads of pelters for it at time. And now that people are going around like, you know what, you're right. I know it's only 3 games, so there's nothing to actually go off yet, truly. But they have the same problems every game. It's same from last season. I'm not convinced by manager. And I don't know if you've actually seen stats. You're saying you've seen goals, but have you seen stats from this game?
No.
They are awful. Absolutely.
Really?
I think Rotherham had 27% possession, 1 shot, lost 3-0, and it could and probably should have been more. There were some good goals, to be fair, from Cardiff side of things. But the thing that really worries me, like everybody knows, even a Rotherham fan will tell you that squad is just not that good. They might think it's a mid-table fodder side. It is a bottom 6 side. The thing that worries me is that managers come out after the game and said that they were quite happy with first half. They didn't have a shot first half. They were 1-0 down. And I think they had 22% possession. Like, they've not had a sniff at ball. They've not been in Cardiff's half once. And if they're the standards that they're truly happy with, you're in for a long one.
Yeah, that's tough going, isn't it? That's tough going, that. And Cardiff aren't a bad side at this level, by the way.
No, they're not.
So I don't mind that, but
I worry for him a lot.
I worry for Millers. I do. And I don't know if there's any Millers watching tonight, but you're more than welcome to come on and tell us different, or wallow in your own misery, as you may well want to do. But I think they'll struggle. I think what will happen. The problem is, they might change the manager to try and get something and get a bit more of a proven name in, which can help you. Obviously, everybody knows about the bounce and stuff like that. But if they haven't got the players, it won't be sustained. And I just think they'll, why not go for somebody like Paul Warne before he was picked up by MK and stuff like that? I know it's the money and stuff, but he's done a great job for him previously. So anyway, that's by the by. Look,
I just want to touch on it quickly, though. Sorry, go on. If you were saying
go for it, mate. Touch on it.
The reason I think as well, like, I think they could get away with this in previous years. I think they could get away with like how poor they are now. But for 2nd year in a row, because last season, Stockport, Wrexham, Mansfield come up. So they've all stayed up. This season, you've got 4 strong sides have come up. Wimbledon have flying straight away. But you've got Donny and Bradford, who are looking at beating 2 up promotion favourites. Port Vale are good. You're looking at teams that are here, that are in the weaker, like a Peterborough or a Rotherham or an Exeter, teams that have been in here for a bit, to face drop because definitely the autos that come up last year are miles better than them.
It's exactly the same in Champ, mate. Exactly the
same. Yeah, it really
Champ.
is, yeah.
So Birmingham, Wrexham, obviously the standouts that people talk about. Birmingham, because I think they're probably the strongest coming up. Obviously smashed League One last year and spent an awful lot of money, but have built really well in Championship already. Wrexham already throwing money about 10 million quid, up to 10 million, I'm sure, for Nathan Broadhead. Massively overpaid if that's anywhere near the price, but still it's statement signings to certainly stay in the Championship. Charlton have not done a bad job either. As the third little brother of those 2 sides, they have not done a bad job. So it will be some big names dropping out of the Championship this year.
And that's what makes you worry for someone like Hull, for example.
Yeah,
because I think it is laziness to an extent, because it's hard finding teams that are going to go down. Because if all 3 stay up, that's 3rd season in a row that all 3 sides from League One have stayed up. So then Wednesday are given anyway. But then you're looking at teams like Hull. But you know what I mean? Hull are they're not a big side, but their attendances and the revenue are good. You're looking at Preston, who's been in there forever. You're looking at them sort of teams.
I know. I thought Oxford might be all right, but they, then you look at the results already and you think, not sure. I like Oxford as a side. I think they're slowly building, but our team's leapfrogging them with spending power, and possibly that's the case. So really interesting. Look, mate, normally we wouldn't spend a lot of time talking about League Two, and that's no disrespect. I think that's certainly from my point of view. I haven't got the knowledge on League Two. I'm working on my League One stuff, but I don't know if you know much about Harrogate. I'm hoping that our next caller will be able to tell us. So there's no. He's here, look, he's here. I didn't see his face.
Hi to it.
Hey, I don't know who that was. Don't know who it was. Just a lovely face on screen. Look, his name's Harrogate Town. I thought I'd give him a chance. I couldn't tell the face.
Yeah, I'm right. He's had you there.
It's my old eyes, mate. It's my old eyes. What can I say? So
there's not loads to say about Harrogate. I'm not going to lie. We'll touch on it quickly. I think that's a good point because Cambridge are one of my favourites. I think they're probably a strike away from challenging at top.
But there's not loads to say.
Cambridge aren't bad. They've come down from League One, haven't they?
Yeah,
they've got Neil Harris. I don't think they're that bad for League Two.
Okay. Is that more of a guess?
No, Neil Harris is a good gaffer.
It would be for me, mate.
Ultimately, it's a guess. I don't watch any League Two. I only watch highlights, which is, 20 seconds worth a game. That's all I see on EFL highlights show.
Me too, mate. What do they expect from us, these people? What do they expect? Let's get into some comments before we nail down who is going to be our Didsy Award winner for the night. And last chance to get your calls in, because same guy seems to want to replicate different teams. But most of it was about the stream dropping out. I think it's a YouTube issue. Terrier says, Jimmy, how did you let Hull City outmatch your wage offer to McBurney? Now, this wasn't. It was more about the package that we offered, because he wouldn't have come in and been a starter for us. That is the way it worked, Terrier. We offered him a deal in line with being our third best or rotation option striker, because we sold Kiefer Moore and we need somebody now to replace that Kiefer Moore backup striker position. He's not going to come in and start with Tyrese Campbell, and Tom Cannon's directly behind him as well, who were a statement signing for us last year. So we need someone. We play one up top. You what, mate?
You could have done with someone like Didsy.
We could have done. Mate.
You actually could.
You joke. I know you joke, but we could have done.
No, I'm not joking. If he come in as our third choice, he'd have a great impact on you.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would. He'd definitely get on bench for us, undoubtedly. And that's where we are at the minute. We were quite comfortable to let him go 2 years ago, and now he's a player that we'd have on bench. So and he's 2 years on, and we were thinking he were getting a bit too old for us then. So that shows where we are as a club. But it were relative to where we saw him, Terrier, in terms of our plans. So I'm not having it. Rotherham United has entered the studio. No, I'm sorry. I'm kicking him. He's going. I know the pattern now. I know the pattern. So that's the situation. We didn't offer it. If he were coming in as our starting striker, like he has done for Hull, Hull have offered him a starting spot, as you can see, and he's doing right. He's doing right. Tom Denton says, "Can I please say up the Ramble? It ain't the Ramble. I want to say how much I love Cal for rinsing Wendy's like he does. Oh, Barnsley getting the champ. We won't play you though, because by next season we'll be in League One."
No, you come on, man. You'll be fine.
Leeds United has entered the building, kicking you from the building and all. This is absolutely disgraceful. Craig says the main thing that has stunted United's progress over the last 4 to 5 years has been how much playing players out of position we've done. When are we going to learn, Jimmy? What's your thoughts on playing players like Gus Amer out on left wing, Cal?
The thing is, you were there last season, weren't you? The best player in the league.
He won Championship Player of the Year.
Well, there you go.
We don't know his best position, I think. And
does Hamer himself know his best position?
Probably not.
Well,
probably not. I'm trying to find a comment that says,
I want to go back to Sheffield. You know, I know you did some who's John chat now.
Middlesbrough.
Exactly. Middlesbrough aren't even on here.
I know. It should have been an all because they smashed it, didn't they, this week? So
I want to go before we do Didsy and go off because I've got to go at 7 on that, Jim. Come on, man.
Yeah,
you've got to prep for your live as well. By the way, guys, anybody in my stream, Jimmy's doing a live. If anybody fancies it for Leeds again, make sure you go and dislike the channel.
No, what are you doing? People actually do that from your comments, you know.
For my God.
Undo it right now.
Okay, don't go and watch him. Then you don't have the chance to dislike. Anyway, I want to go back to Sheffield United quickly because one of my gripes, right, with them is not so much, obviously, the money side speaks for itself and like where are all your players, but like just shoehorning your kids into 11. That would really annoy me.
Like who?
Well, players that haven't had the chance to go and develop the game somewhere else and are then being shoved straight into a team at the top end of Championship with the same expectations that you've got. Like, Peck's been out on loan for 5 games to Oldham, something like that. One's never been out. Like, who else has Brooks ever been out on loan? Like these
not
type of
my
lads?
knowledge, no, not as a like when he was coming in through to establish. He
Yeah,
might have gone on a youth loan years ago, but he hasn't recently.
I feel like as a club, you are really wasting a good academy that you've got. Because I look at the kids that have come through at your place, and Arblaster stands out as by far the best for what you've got. You might disagree, and like Peck's good and all this, but I think Arblaster is by a mile the best academy product that you've got within this squad. But he had the chance to go and prove that at Port Vale, and he was one of the best players in League 2. He were League 2, weren't it? Or League 1 when they got relegated.
League 1
when they got relegated. We bet him 7-0. But he was the best. He stood out by a mile as an 18-year-old, 19-year-old at the time. He can develop his game. You've got different expectations. It's at a more similar level. and he stands out a lot. I think you're chucking kids in that aren't ready, and you're going to send them backwards.
Arblaster went to them as a prospect midfielder, and he'd done well for our 21s. Wasn't expected to be anything amazing coming towards first team. Went out on loan at Port Vale. Went from being an okay starter for them to being the absolute boy, and he was their main player. Yeah, and he got injured in the January, and we called him back. I think Wilder went to see him the game that he actually got injured, but we ended up calling him back, and it were a 50-50 as to whether we would. And we got him back, and then towards end of season, started playing him because we were in Premier League at the time. He captained us at Old Trafford. He was in a terrible season for us as well, by the way, but he was head and shoulders a really, really strong player for us. And that loan did him every bit of good. Like yours, exactly what your point is, mate. We haven't got the luxury. When he got injured last season, Peck had to step up above everything. And it was sort of thrust into limelight and thrust into sort of, you must perform because we need you. We haven't got anybody else. And he did. He stepped up to it, to be fair. Not every player is going to do that. And I think Andre Brooks has struggled to hold down a first team place. And I think he could do it alone. One, I think, has looked great in pre-season against poorer sides. But then when it's come to competitive games, he's looked really poor, really poor. Sariki, I don't think he's the finished article at all. He's been out on loan and not performed. He went out to Rotherham, did really poorly. Yeah. He went out to Rochdale, did poorly. Came into our side and did okay, but he's a wing back. Can't make him a right back because I don't think he's good enough defensively. But we need to develop these players properly, and I think we're struggling. I think we're struggling. Needs must getting them inside at the moment because we're so few players.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That conveyor belt of talent isn't getting the attention that they need. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's disappointing, mate. So before I let you go, because we've got Callum Fowler's birds entered the chat now.
Do not put that one on.
Get rid
of anything. He could come in and his balls will be on screen. It could be absolutely out, Jim. That
it could. It's all right. I get to see a picture before it comes on. Who's winning this then? Because for those that are, didn't catch it earlier, you originally nominated Bradford for the team award, if you like, in terms of performance, beating Luton, promotion favourites, just newly promoted side, really strong result. I think Ollie McBurney for me.
Yeah, I get that.
Ollie McBurney takes it this week.
Yeah, I'd give him that. What, a goal and 2 assists? Yeah.
You can't not.
Bob on.
You can't.
Bob on.
Right. Should we call it there, pal? Because I know you've got to get off. And
YouTube's been a bugger.
It's been a bit of a bugger on YouTube. We'll get it right, mate.
Yeah, 2 weeks of this and not once has it gone smoothly, but it's all right, guys. One day.
One day. So we're away next week out with Pal. We will return the week after. I want to say thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. I am on stream, as Cal said, to watch the if YouTube lets me, then I'll be on stream to watch Leeds against Everton at 7:30. So I might see some of you there. Cal, anything you want to say before we set to that?
Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to both of us. Like Jimmy said, he's going to be live on there on Ramble FC, so go and sub and watch that. And if not, then we'll see you in like a week and a bit for the next one of these.
Nice one. Cheers, guys. See you in a bit.
Love you all. See you.